Hi everybody, it's time for more Ace Attorney. We are on the last trial day of the last case of the first Ace Attorney game. Now, this last trial day is split into 3 separate parts, which is wild. We kept looking at the list of kept looking at how long this is gonna be, and it kept being like, well, we'll do as much of this as we can today.
But it seems like we're going to be cross-examining 3 different people.
Yeah.
From here on. Without getting too much into the nitty-gritty of how it's all going to go.
Yeah.
And the only reason we looked into it is because we've already played this game.
Yeah. So, alright, have a good lurk. Thank you for stopping by, and congrats on getting first.
Yes, congrats.
Let's get this started.
Yeah!
Let's get it started.
Ha!
Okay.
In here. This is the defendant lobby, all right, but there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? And where's Emma, for that matter? It almost seems as if...
Something's been happening behind the scenes.
I thought it was him. Edgeworth.
Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of 777777777.
No, I think that was one too many. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out.
You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything.
True. Not yet.
In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, Wright, and Chief Prosecutor Skye will be found guilty.
But she didn't do it.
I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say. Hi.
This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her.
The truth?
Everything goes back to the SL9 incident.
Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past.
That depends on you.
Huh?
If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened.
I'll think about it. See you in court, Wright. Court, Wright.
This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now. Let's go.
Let's go. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Normally, this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make.
Chief Gant.
Wow. Morning, folks! How's everybody doing? Hey, Edgy, you been back to the pool yet? No, I've been drowning enough in my work as it is. Huh! That's a good one! Don't think I can top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours? Lana, that is to say, the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court.
Is that true? She wants to do what?
Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble.
Ouchie, did you just poke yourself in the eyeball with your own water bottle?
Mm-hmm.
Owie! Are you okay?
You saw that happen. It felt so silly and weird at the same time.
Hey, that's a design flaw.
Yeah.
That's not a you flaw.
Ow.
Oh.
It's fine. No, that's worse. What's this all about, defendant?
I'd just like to make one simple request, and I'll be finished.
Well then, what's your request?
Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial.
Oh.
I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. No, Lana! No!
Wow, I guess
girl!
you really did murder them.
You can't, Your Honor! The defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services. But, Lana? Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney.
Whoa.
The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please.
Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. Her request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation.
This is crazy.
Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise.
And I do. This can't be happening.
It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant...
Don't do it. Edgeworth?
One moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Come now, Worthy! I understand this is a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut?
Whoa. Told him to shut up. A good little boy.
I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant.
I'm a bad little boy.
What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes? Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be.
That's what Phoenix actually said. It's ellipses, but the ellipses was actually a high-pitched shriek.
Yeah. With a sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal? Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy.
Oh! This is so bitch.
Yeah. I thought so. Your Honor, Whoa. The prosecution would like to change its first witness. Oh? To whom? As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye.
Gagged.
I request the court hears her testimony.
Hold it! Mr. Edgeworth, I am exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue.
I don't care what you think, Miss Skye.
Oh my god!
That's what she said just then.
Yeah,
That was her
I actually wrote the script for this game, so...
The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy.
Snatched her own wig off, too. This is so bitch.
The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's gaze from it.
Eyes.
One's eyes from it. I mean,
you made it. You were right.
Yeah.
You were right.
very well.
The court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Gant? Worthy. You'll live to regret this. Mark my words.
Hey, is there a stenographer in the courtroom that maybe wants to talk about that very non-thinly veiled threat?
Yeah, literally.
Like,
What the hell?
that was so, like, obvious.
Yeah. Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand.
Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins.
Phoenix will not be talking for the rest of this trial because there's no
He's
attorney
totally being
needed.
dragged around.
Yeah. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation.
It feels like you're a lot of people in the courtroom right now.
Yeah.
Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm okay right now.
All right.
My name is Emma Skye. My occupation? I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator. 2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct? Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though.
Well, you'll have to remember today.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time.
Mr. Edgeworth, please remember the trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant?
Bro, don't you remember December when I was, like, in the defendant's
Literally.
seat?
Yeah, and that ended up being like the thing that...
Yeah, so, yes.
Yes. Yes, it most certainly is.
Well, okay then.
He sure gave in fast.
Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago.
The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial.
2 years ago. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me. But I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
It's a good thing you weren't harmed.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder?
That will soon become apparent, Your Honor.
I don't want to spoil it.
You'll see.
You gotta admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence.
He's got a hunch, and isn't that evidence enough?
Very well.
No, it's not.
The defense may begin its cross-examination.
Evidence is evidence.
Evidence is a feeling.
No, it's not.
Well,
Um, 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct?
yes, she was second in command under the then Deputy Chief of Police Gant. My sister, she was the best detective ever.
Yes, I remember. Deputy Chief Gant and Miss Skye used to be quite the pair.
I believe they shared the same office. That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk and dream about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day too. The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day. Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work. A man came running in.
A man?
A man. Yes, Joe Dark. He was a serial killer. Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on the day of that ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest.
When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right?
Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. Then, he ran into Sky and Gant's office. There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him.
What was the prosecutor doing there, Neil Marshall?
That day, there were 2 people present during Dark's questioning. Deputy Chief Damon Gant and Prosecutor Neil Marshall. I keep seeing the word chief and mean like chief.
Chief.
That word is pronounced chief.
Well, kind of. I almost forgot about Gant.
Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony.
I assumed that would also be why he was the first to run after Dark.
When Dark grabbed me, I thought I was as good as dead.
And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in?
I don't clearly remember what happened then, but I'll never forget.
I don't remember what happened, but I'll never forget what happened.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark just then. The lights went out.
The lights?
It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on and lightning struck nearby.
So the electricity went out.
Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right?
Right, but just then lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image on the scene of my mind, in my mind.
I see.
I told the detective about what I saw then.
The detective?
Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case.
Detective Bruce Goodman. The victim.
Alright, that's enough. You can stop.
Yeah, you don't need to talk anymore about it. No, tell me more. You spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago.
Yes. That's what's so scary about this trial.
And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw.
Yes, but at the time, the word just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture.
A picture. Yes, I think she mentioned that before.
Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough?
Ask about the picture.
This picture the witness drew.
Was it a good drawing?
Yeah, I would like to see it. I could barely draw a stick figure.
Oh.
I believe it has a very important meaning.
But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture.
Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor.
You would mind? Well, I know exactly what to do. Should I still press?
Do whatever you want. You can do the thing you think you should do.
I feel like... Because it's...
Bum bum!
It's right there, baby. Do you mean this drawing? Mr. Edgeworth? We got him. This little girl put all her heart into that into drawing that picture. And yet you would insist on denying its existence?
Huh? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture.
That may well be. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold!
This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident?
Mm-hmm. Please turn it over, Your Honor.
Turn it over? What's this?
Yes, what is that?
Well, I think it's pretty clear.
Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew.
It's really good.
Oh, it's really good.
I think it's really
I
good.
can barely even draw a stick figure. Indeed! 2 men appear to be wrestling here.
A little, I guess.
They look like they're having fun. They're frolicking. What's the meaning of this?
What do you mean, what's the meaning?
Leo! Thanks for the raid. Welcome in, welcome in. I hope you had a good stream. What were you playing? Tell us about it. We're playing Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, last trial of the first game.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah! What am I doing with this list? Me? What am I doing with this list?
What are you doing with that list?
Me?
Yeah.
Me? What am I doing with the list?
Yeah.
Me?
Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list.
Oh, so well, then what am I doing with it?
Am I the prosecutor?
Wait, what
in
am I
charge?
doing with it? Wait, what
Huh?
am I doing with it?
These lists, they're different from each other.
What?
It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete.
Which makes sense. It corroborates with that thing that you said where they're usually twice as long. Both you and Gumshoe said it. You said it a lot. And it really I was like, it's not as big as it should be.
These 2 lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here,
Y'all
where they were
never-
torn apart from each other.
Y'all never heard of printing double-sided?
Literally, like they're single-sided prints stapled together, but you
That's so like an office, though. God,
Yeah.
it's so like an office to be inefficient like that. Sorry if you work in an office.
no, that's just how they are.
But like retweet if you have an inefficient working office.
I wish that these had like stapler marks on them
Ooh.
because I feel like that would paint
Like
the picture
multiple
a little
ones.
bit like
Yeah.
more clearly.
I get you. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half the evidence in that case ever reached you.
What? What?
Yeah.
Order! Order! But Miss Sky, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list?
That's what they gave her. Why would you blame her for that?
Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor.
Literally. He would, like, Detective Goodman was just like, here, draw it on any piece of paper I have on hand. You know what I mean? This is the one I have on hand.
And she's like not able to talk, and he's desperate for information, and it's like a
Yeah.
high stress situation.
Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Smack. Your Honor!
Are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head.
If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. We could have a whole parent trap situation. My dad is on this one, and your mum is on that one.
Wow. Does
Then
this
that
mean...
means...
Yes, that's quite conceivable. Mr. Edgeworth?
It's possible. Let's see.
Eminem! Is something wrong?
Do you even have to ask? Like, he's clearly having
Edgeworth
a
is
problem.
such a drama queen when he
He's
gets
so
upset.
dramatic.
Sorry, Your Honor.
He like had a full meltdown.
He was like,
I'm so sorry.
Sorry. Me too.
That is.
There is indeed something drawn on the back of my list. That it's that thing.
That thing.
Blink, blink.
That thing! That thing that was dancing in the evidence room!
Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives.
I guess he was out of scrap paper.
Restored.
Huh.
Okay.
Interesting.
Very well. Witness! will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago?
Huh? Oh, yes, sir. Your Honor.
She's thinking about something.
She is.
She's trying to remember a thing. What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something.
Man.
I'm telling you, me and this boy, me and Phoenix Wright, same.
Mm-hmm.
She seemed to think about something when she was looking at a picture.
That picture inspired her.
She's think about stuff.
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see was shadows.
What do you think would happen if she did the redraw challenge?
Like, redrew this? And her new...
Redraw her trauma.
Aw.
I bet she's better.
This is pretty good.
Yeah, but maybe she's better at lighting now.
Oh, so there...
Yeah.
I mean, she already kind of did that halo, like, back glow effect.
It is interesting, but I feel like right now it kind of just looks like she colored it in, like, sort of haphazardly.
Yeah.
I bet she could do it even better now.
I bet she could. I bet you're right.
Yeah.
After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
Exactly what I saw.
Exactly what I saw. Photographic
proof I'm an artist.
as a photo. To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind.
Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw.
Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Okay.
You can see that's exactly what he looks like.
Clearly,
That's his
it looks like two shadow people, guys. Like, let's reel it in a little. Like, let's reel it in just a little.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
I love when the judge is like, well, I don't see a contradiction. I'm
no
like, well, that's
problem
not
here.
your job.
No problem here. Hold it.
Did you draw this picture right after the incident?
I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first, I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything. During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of Damon Gant and Lana Skye.
2 or 3 days later. The memory should still have been fresh in her mind.
Excuse
Unless
me.
it was particularly traumatic, and then
No.
it might be full gone, you know?
Who knows? Yeah, it could be.
Sometimes the brain does stuff like that, where it's like, I don't know, I literally can't even remember, and it happened 2 days ago.
Put it in the trash.
Yeah, my
Oh.
brain is protecting me, and it's gone.
Yeah. That's always scary when that happens.
But can you please tell us why this picture is painted all black?
Bro, that's the only crayon they gave her!
What? Oh, okay.
Okay.
Because they're trying to lead it into the next thing she says. So, okay, whatever.
So at the time, you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue?
No, I couldn't see him clearly.
I really feel like it's weird that they asked about the color. Like,
Yeah, that I feel like that
in
was
that situation, wouldn't they have just given you a Sharpie and been like,
dry
fucking go for it? You know what I
or
mean?
a pencil or something.
Yeah, but it was clearly Sharpie-esque.
Yeah. The lighting was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor.
You were knocked to the floor. That's what she said.
Dark had a tight grip on me, and when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed.
Okay.
And that's what she saw.
Poor Emma. I'm just glad she wasn't hurt.
What happened after the lightning flashed?
Well, and that's another story. Never mind. little into the woods joke.
Hold it.
You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place?
No, I'm sorry. The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint.
I like that Edgeworth is always very he's very straightforward and severe, but I think he is very empathetic and understanding to trauma, especially when it pertains to younger people.
Yeah.
Because he knows what that feels like, but I like that little bit of character depth to him.
Yeah.
I like whenever I get to see it.
Do you really need to torture this girl any further?
See, he's like, I side with victims.
Believe.
What the fuck? I'm not the bad guy here. I'm literally defending her sister.
Anyway, this picture. Exactly what you saw?
Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw?
Of course! This is the exact scene!
It wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives.
Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright?
I just wanted to ask a question.
It's not outside the realm of possibility.
No, of course not. I'd better watch out or he might find some way to cut my salary.
Salary. Laugh track at Phoenix having
a salary. He seems like such a freelance attorney.
It really does. Oh my god. I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives. So I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me.
Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture?
Huh? Oh, well,
I just think I could do better. I just could do better.
yeah.
It's okay.
That's actually what it is.
It's just not very good.
It's strange. She claims this is exactly the scenes that was imprinted in her mind. And yet, there's clearly a contradiction here.
It's just not very good, you know? It's just like...
What the hell? Oh, no. Sorry.
Okay, so Phoenix is telling us there's there's like definitely a contradiction.
In the picture.
Is he? She's. Oh wait. What the? She said she saw the moment that he hit her. Wait. Single stab wound piercing the heart or lung.
Weapon
Didn't it say that
found
she
in wound was missing.
Go back real quick when you're done reading. Go wait, go to the autopsy report. Like just hover over it. No. The other one.
Oh yeah.
The autopsy report.
Stabbed in the back.
It doesn't say that like on there, but it does say that right. Like,
yeah. Wait. What? Cause of death: single stab wound piercing heart lung.
Try presenting that.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
27M.
Hey, the music stopped.
Oh, good sign.
Oh, bless you, Jemmy.
Oh.
Oh my goodness, the kitties are being cute. Sorry. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew, it's total crap. It contains a blatant contradiction.
I just think I could do better.
I just think I could do better.
What? But I still remember it just like it was yesterday.
Draw it again.
Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report?
I mean, he was stabbed in the back. So, I mean, like, I don't know, the knife?
Try the knife, because it might be that the tip was It might be something about the tip missing.
That contradiction, of course, lies here.
Wrong.
Take a look at the knife the man is holding.
Right.
If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken.
Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright. She just drew it bad.
But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too.
So I'm not a bad drawer.
If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body.
Gross.
Yuck.
It was the conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer.
Nuh-uh, nuh-uh. I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma.
Empa. And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem?
It's obvious, really. Sorry. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. You just bring it out at me, Edgeworth. You just make me want to scream.
Lunging at him.
If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken.
Oh! What's the meaning of this?
Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand.
Objection. Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there.
That's right. But what does this mean?
The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. Wasn't that falsified evidence? The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken.
That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered it correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time. But she was sure she remembered correctly.
But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency.
Well, not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence?
You're treading on thin ice, Wright.
This is like, do not talk to me about falsified evidence. You're treading. You're cruising for a bruising right now. Do not piss me off.
Don't piss me off.
All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility.
No.
You can't deny the possibility. That's right.
You can't.
Order! 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 Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted?
Anya. Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. 1. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. 2. After receiving the King of Prosecutors Award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. I'm having trouble talking. 3. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. 4. Prosecutor Marshall charged after him and was killed by Dark. It took everything out of me not to say killed by Drake.
Killed by Drake. There are so many parts of this that I look at, and the letters kind of like move around a little bit.
Yeah. Do you think that the typeface is somewhat like difficult to read or gets swapped around, or maybe we just have dyslexia a little bit?
I think sometimes it's just easy to get mixed up.
Maybe that's what it is. But I do feel like there are some typefaces that are easier to read than others.
Scientifically speaking, a serif font is actually easier to read than a sans serif font. Designer voice.
Do you know that if you just said it without making yourself sound like a nerd, I would have been like, oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah, that was just that, like, my voice went into that on accident, so I just, like...
I just hope you didn't feel like you had to make fun of yourself, because I was like, oh, I actually find that information very interesting.
I think that that's true, but I've also seen, like, those
feel like
very
I have
readable...
trouble with serifs. I think that I get them mixed up
Let me
more in my opinion.
Let me fact check.
But hey, I could be in a small demographic. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna fact check. Serif font.
You're the designer.
Readability. Yeah, but I could be misremembering. According to okay, so it says my cursory little research says that serifs are easier to read from a distance or at tiny sizes. But it's all like a matter of like opinion and personal.
Yeah, I don't know.
Experience.
I don't know what it is. But I've noticed that with you and I both, with the Ace Attorney font, we get turned around sometimes. That's like the funniest part about streaming, you and I, is that I noticed that different games will have different levels of like reading comprehension because of the typeface. Like, it's gotta be the only thing that's different.
I think the typography in Phoenix Wright. Detour into the typography of Phoenix Wright. I think that it's actually pretty legible. I think that they did a really good job of balancing the size and the style.
I love how big it is.
I like how big it is. There's only 3 lines per. They don't go more than like 10 words per line. Also, like it's very compact in a way that's very like segmented into like, this is what they're saying, this is what you would hear them say for like a short period, like sectioned off in a very distinct way.
I love sectioned off reading. One of the hardest things about reading novels for me is how it'll feel like a big wall of text, and that's actually very difficult for me to read,
I get that.
even if I love reading.
Yeah. But they also have pretty good letting, like the space between the lines is also pretty appropriate. Which is why I think I'm just getting tripped up. I think sometimes I have days where it's harder for me to like focus on the words and read them as clearly. But I don't think that this is.
I don't think it's the worst at all. I've definitely played games where I've been like, I
cannot read this.
I learned how to read yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm having so much trouble. But I mean, obviously Phoenix Wright's one of my favorite games. So like, if I'm reading to myself, I can read an Ace Attorney game so quick.
Yeah.
But reading aloud, something different happens.
It's a different skill, and we only do it 3 times a week.
Well, I think we do a pretty good job. It is my belief that somewhere in this story there is a lie.
I'm not lying. The man really was holding a broken knife.
I believe you, Emma.
If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife.
You think?
Ooh. I know. What are
What are the chances of there being 2 broken knives? Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's. Could there have been one?
There's another one.
There's gotta be.
It's
if
not.
Edgeworth says, if the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, then it can't just be explained away by a simple observational error.
Mr. Wright?
Yeah? What?
You're scaring me.
In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife.
I assume, then, that you have some information about this other broken knife? If so, please feel free to enlighten us.
The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. Here's the real...
Do you know what it is? The King of Prosecutors says it used to have a knife on it. That was broken.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
It used to have. If anything's broken here, It's you.
What? Huh? No, but I'm right. But Oliver was so smart.
I'm sure this must all be very amusing to you, Mr. Wright.
No!
Wait! But may I...
Sorry, Your Honor. Give me another chance. Maybe it's the picture.
Oh!
The answer lies in the past.
Ah!
2 years in the past. Right here inside this picture.
They were all like, he was like, it was the trophy, and they were like, yeah, really funny. It can't be the trophy. What part of the trophy do you think it was, asshole? And they slapped the back of his head.
And then I'm like, no, but I mean this trophy. And they're like, Can you take back the punishment you gave me?
No.
Because I was right?
No. You are right.
But no.
But no.
This is a
This is a picture of the award ceremony.
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
You're such a drama queen.
It's the broken murder weapon.
Notice the award prosecutor Marshall is holding. It's got a little thingy on it.
That's a broken knife.
Yeah.
It's a sword.
Actually, it's a broken sword. It's a halberd. Wait, is halberd a...
I think halberd is correct.
Okay. As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award!
Oh, I guess it was from that award, huh?
Smash.
Order!
Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation.
But that can't be.
But it is. Oh, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth?
Because if the King of Prosecutors award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would have been reversed.
What do you mean? Wait, what does that mean?
Well, because if he had the knife...
I know what Edgeworth...
I mean...
I think Edgeworth is being... I think Phoenix is being said, he's like, what do you mean they'd be swapped? I'm like, will they be swapped? Like, what do you mean?
You think, I mean... This man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Oh.
But the prosecutor was the one who actually died.
That's true. What's going on here?
It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions.
Hold it.
Wait, I remember now. I remember everything.
Oh my god, Emma just had a brain blast.
Yeah.
Witness?
Mr. Edgeworth. What is it? Could you show me your evidence list again, please?
His list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back?
The one that she drew? Yeah.
Yeah, her drawing. I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it. What?
You drew that? It's really good.
That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture. So it was actually...
I actually know the answer to this. I remembered this.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell that it was like torn in half in this way.
Is it?
So I keep thinking it's stapled, but they're like, I don't know.
It's a huge. It's a piece of paper that was
It's
folded.
an 8.5 by 14 instead of a 8.5 by 11. They call that legal sized in the print and paper industry. Which I'm very familiar with.
Wait, so this paper was legal sized?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Since it's legal stuff.
Yeah. All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me.
Man, you know a memory that I've locked away deep inside of me, but I'm remembering right now?
This case?
No, this one's not locked up. Does go opened up a little bit. It's locked up a little bit. But I'm remembering like going on errands with my dad as a kid, and like printer paper and like the way printers used to be as a kid. You know, when it had that really lined paper that had all of the little circles on it, and it would be like
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just remembered those?
I was just thinking about it.
I liked them. I liked that they were all one big piece.
Yeah, I remember playing with the paper.
I also did.
Yeah.
That's why they stopped making it like that.
Yeah, because the kids were playing with it too much.
It was too fun.
Yeah, it was too fun.
The office workers were playing with it. It was too fun. Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony.
Perhaps.
Would you please tell us what you've recalled, Miss Sky?
Yes,
Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. First the knife mix-up, and now Blue Badger? This should be interesting. Oh, this ought to be good.
Emma's recollection.
Recollection.
When I saw that man raise his knife,
When I saw that man.
I panicked and rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then, there was another flash of lightning. That's when I saw the Blue Badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
Wait, before when we were seeing the Blue Badger for the first time, was Emma like, I don't like this guy?
I don't remember.
I wish I could remember. I wish that if not, I wish that she was like,
I don't like it.
this guy really unsettles me. I don't know why he unsettles me so bad, but she might have already said that.
She might have. I know that
The Blue
Phoenix
Badger
was all,
certainly
so, like,
is slightly unsettling.
Yeah. This is certainly most unusual. Try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year.
Edgeworth, you okay?
He hadn't even designed him.
He didn't even design him until this. Wait, if it was didn't, then it would have been
Even
fine.
Design him. No, he's wrong.
No, he is wrong. He is wrong. But there's two different ways that he could have been right, and I think that's why it is the way it is. Like, if he had said the chief of detectives didn't even design him until this year, that would have been okay. Or if he had said the chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year, that would have been okay. But he combined the two, or they combined the two. You know what I mean?
I see.
So that's like how that typo slipped through the cracks sometimes.
Typo.
That typo slipped through the cracks. Do you ever get fascinated with how typos might slip through the cracks, like how a brain might think
For
it's okay
sure.
for long enough that it ends up getting printed that way?
For sure. I think about that with translation all the time. Like with my very, very rudimentary knowledge of Japanese and the grammatical structure of like those sentences. Sometimes I'll see translations and be like, okay.
Yeah. Same, me too. I'll be like, there are some things I'll see. I'll be like, oh, I probably would have translated that differently, but also I'm not fluent in Japanese, so
Yeah.
that's not for me to do or say.
Yeah.
That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago.
Yes, well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Hold it! Stop! Please! Don't pursue this any further! Lana!
What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair.
But you can't do this! I've already confessed to the crime! Why can't you just leave it at that?
Chief Prosecutor Sky. We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back.
Silence! The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant.
Seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter.
No.
Not even. When you say that man, I assume you refer to Joe Dark.
Yes, at least I think it was him.
You think?
All I could really see were shadows. The power outage that immediately preceded the incident is also documented in the prosecutor's office reports.
So then you...
Panicked and rushed toward both of them.
Panicked.
Why would you do something so dangerous?
What else could I have done?
She's just got a lot of justice in her heart.
He was about to stab Mr. Marshall.
She seems convinced that Dark was the one holding the knife.
But as we've just theorized, Mr. Marshall was the one holding the knife. Well, I didn't know that at the time. When that Dark guy knocked me down, all I could think was, I've gotta help that other person.
I think I knocked away the man with the knife. What do you mean you think?
I think. It all happened so fast, and I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. When I did, it's all kind of a blur. Miss Sky was almost killed before she was a witness to a murder about to take place. With so much happening in a matter of seconds, little disorientation is only natural.
I'm beginning to remember why Lana is so fervent about this.
I saw the man about to stab the other person, who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife.
What you did was very brave, young girl. So then what happened next?
Well,
I saw the blue badger.
are you sure about this?
Of course, see? I even drew a picture of him here. But it was the chief of detectives who thought up this hideous beast. And that was just this year.
Don't make him cry if you say that.
The blue badger didn't exist 2 years ago. This is all quite verifiable. I know it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department.
Okay, so she must have said something.
I had this nagging feeling that I'd seen him before somewhere. Now I finally remember.
Oh, brother. Just when you thought that thing had caused enough commotion.
Tell us, where in the room did you see him dancing?
He wasn't in the room.
His shadow. So you mean you didn't actually see his face with its winning smile and all?
That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns. This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken.
I was there when Gumshoe designed it. Or he didn't design it. Gumshoe didn't design it. I keep wanting to think that, but he actually just made the thingy.
No, I think Meekins made it, right?
No, Meekins didn't make it. Gumshoe painted the little thingy, but the chief of detectives or whatever
Designed it.
designed it.
What did Meekins was just guarding it?
I think. Yeah. Meekins didn't have any involvement with the Blue Badger, I don't think. Other than being at the evidence room when the Blue Badger was there.
I thought he brought it into the evidence room.
Maybe he did. Maybe that's true.
That may well be.
That may well be. Maybe so. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did.
Oh, and I suppose you have an explanation. If so, then by all means, please tell us what this shadow really was.
What was it Emma saw when that lightning flashed? Who is this blue badger really?
I just might know.
Blue badger hadn't even been dreamt up when Emma drew this picture. Yeah, she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense's belief that on that fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the blue badger. Something that is now sitting in this very room.
Mr. Wright.
In this room? Very well, Mr. Wright.
What is it that the witness saw in that instant? Please show us this mysterious blue badger lookalike.
The mysterious blue badger was, in fact, this.
But that's...
What exactly is that?
I believe it's some sort of jar.
It is kind of confusing as to what this
It's bizarre.
thing is. But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger.
Indeed, it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain, weird-looking jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint?
Our viewpoint?
I've got to show them the correct angle to look at this from.
Playing the blue badger fucking song.
That's
Spin
got to
it.
be the other way.
Rotate. No, the little horn down here needs to be at the top.
Oh, yeah?
I think so. Oh. Oh.
Wait.
Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Okay. Okay.
I think it's this.
I think that's right. It's something like that. I feel like I just had a memory of trying to do this and getting the angle wrong over and over again.
Oh, really?
And being like so mad about it.
It's totally this, though. I mean, look at that.
That feels right.
That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like.
Come on, you can do it!
That's what it look. I mean, you guys are assholes. God, and they play this song too. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't even look. All right, cool. I was gonna do it on my own.
Okay.
You don't need to cheat my way through.
I'm not cheating.
I'm not cheating. I'm just helping. I feel like that's it, right? That's some bullshit.
I want to see what he says here. Okay.
You guys, this is really silly. I'm right.
You are. They're really particular about this. And I feel like that made me so mad how particular about this they were.
Like, I'm right.
I think it's a little higher.
Higher?
Tilt it like a little bit.
Like that?
Lower. I mean.
Like that?
No. Yeah, that. No.
Like this?
No. No.
How many? Okay,
I think
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, 1, 2. No,
It is bullshit if it has to be such a specific angle. And they were like, yeah, and she saw it at this specific angle. And they don't see it unless it's like this specific.
yeah, it's some bullshit.
Then it is
I know what I'm doing.
I think that's correct.
I mean, yeah, it's.
It's just.
What?
Can I try it? I know that there's not much I could actually do that would be any different than what you're doing, and I fully acknowledge
My
that.
headcanon of this is that Phoenix keeps doing it and showing it to Edgeworth, and he's like, I don't see it. And Phoenix is like, I'm telling you.
What are you talking about?
Look at it. Look at it. Look at these two pictures. Tell me they don't look the same.
He's like, I don't
and he's
see
like,
it.
and Edgeworth's like, they literally do not look the same. One is a vase and one is a badger. What is the blue badger?
That's literally not the same thing. That's a vase and a badger.
Corporate wants you to tell me the difference between these two pictures. They're the same! You did it. Well...
Oh my god.
Is this a miracle? Or what?
Or what?
Or what?
Wow.
No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the blue badger. We all just have to look at him for a little bit now. I really want us to just take it in.
He's crying.
Yeah, well, he doesn't like this cruel existence.
No. No. It can't be!
But it can.
Order! Order! The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious blue badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this!
Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's the point?
What do you mean?
So that badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything.
It could. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything.
Indeed. Very well then. Please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness saw this jar?
Literally so many things,
Murder? Well, I'm not sure which one of this it is.
I don't know. Sorry, Jim. Little box, Jimmy.
It's not the murder weapon though. I mean, I don't know. Because we know the location, but I guess the other two I'm not certain of. Because we know the murder weapon. So is it the murderer? Because the murder weapon has changed, but the murderer is like weird. We're not sure.
Sure. Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar.
At a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright.
Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar?
Where?
The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. Sorry. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant.
But the body was found laying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself.
Yes, and it's these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room in Chief Gant's office.
Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body from Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office?
Yeah.
Why would he do that? There's no reason.
Yeah, there is. Exactly, there isn't. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason. What are you talking about?
Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright?
Phoenix fucking ripped a huge bong, like, before coming into court today. I finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Right. Oh, this is the thing that I was remembering earlier. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying?
That would have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall?
Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit?
The suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous-looking sword.
Yes. Well, yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been Neil Marshall, wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy.
No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking.
Yes. There is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room.
Another possibility?
You're not gonna like it. Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless... I don't know if I can continue with this.
Mr. Wright? What's the matter? If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Skye knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Ugh.
That animation was so funny.
I know, but hey, that's back in the day. Back in the day.
I know.
This is pre-Danganronpa, you know what I mean? This is pre all those huge death scenes in Danganronpa.
They're on par with this.
You think?
No.
I don't think that's true.
Well,
I'm like a Phoenix Wright stan, and I think Danganronpa actually does like animation things better.
I've seen like a little moment in Danganronpa that looks like that did. Like little moments where they're going between little photos as well.
All right.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And you're right, that is like legitimate animation.
I think that they have more
Dangle-Rampus.
Dangle-Rampus, they're good at doing like really interesting like low budget animation. And I think
it's stylistic.
Yeah.
They make it really stylistic.
Ace Attorney, like sometimes they'll do animation, but like I don't know. I don't think there's like, it's not really their thing.
Well, especially not in this era.
Yeah, for sure.
They have really good sequential moments, but
yeah.
Anyway, you mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? No! And then she passed out.
'Cause she's a girl.
I never imagined her testimony would lead to this. So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented.
What? What are you saying? I'm sorry, Miss Skye, but given the circumstances, Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall! How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her?
Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it?
I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations. I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall? Evidence? I'm willing to bet you don't.
Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence.
If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony.
I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead. We certainly can't get dead people to testify. Maya?
Oh!
This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning!
Or is it? Touche, Miss Sky. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility.
You mean there's still another possibility?
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. Ouch. Ow.
Yeah,
Ow,
yikes,
bad,
that sucks,
ow.
that sucks. Dying instantly is definitely the goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life, in one manner or another.
That's impossible.
Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist?
I've got to think back to the court record. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind is in the evidence. And it's in the jar. This message is from the deceased is already in our possession. Mr. Wright! Will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer?
Yep.
In my job.
Yep.
Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There is only one thing we seek.
The truth.
The tooth.
The tooth and nothing but.
It's my job.
It's my job.
No matter how painful it may be.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased.
It's the jar. It's the jar. It's the jar. Everything's the jar. This is the message left by the deceased.
This is that blue badger from before, right?
Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name?
If that thing could, I'm sure it would.
He hates that little thing.
He hates that fucker.
Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar. A message was left here. Something was trying to be communicated on the surface of this jar.
What do you mean?
If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar.
It looks like someone wiped the blood away.
Not me, she says. Yes, but
Stop.
notice. For some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away.
Yes, there is still a line here drawn in blood.
So what you're saying is...
It's wild that the blood is like still red. I wish it was like corroded and brown. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and not like the hex code FF000.
Yeah, totally.
Is these dots were once lines.
Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the last few precious of moments left in him to leave behind a message.
One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions. Now that doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Precisely so, Phoenix says, as if it makes sense. All we need to do is connect these points and the victim's message will become apparent. No!
No!
Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us?
Joanno, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. I gotta connect the dots to make the answer. There's only one thing the victim would have written given the circumstances. The murderer's name. Pew!
So if you were like
Pew!
dying and a
Pew!
child accidentally killed you,
you...
Would you really... I don't know. It just feels like a weird thing to do.
To what?
To write her name.
Yeah, I don't think that it's real. This is fake as shit. Well, shit is real, but it's fake as something that's really fake. It's a defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this.
Emma.
So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind.
Damn it.
That's what she's saying.
That's what Lana's saying for sure.
Of all people, she may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life
Was Emma Skye. Dang.
What's she holding?
Just her injured hand.
Oh, it's her injured hand. Oh. Seaworthy? Can't say I didn't warn you. Chief Gant. Do you understand the implications of what you've done? What? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in the case. Were you not?
Oh, shut up, Gant. We all know you're wearing circle lenses.
Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction.
He's dying! But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer! That's undeniable! So it's not even that big a deal.
I'm afraid that's not important.
Yeah, it is! What do you mean that's not important? That he was already like a crazy psycho serial killer.
Psycho silly serial killer.
Silly psycho serial killer.
Didn't you know? We aren't defenders of justice.
What are you?
Well, he's about to tell you.
What?
We're merely keepers of the law.
Oh no, send this guy to the Shadow Realm. Absolutely take him away.
Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery. Ultimately, the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge.
Not passing the buck to the younger boy.
He's only a baby. He's only 22.
Well, he's 24 right now, but at the time of the case,
He was 22.
he was like 22, 21. It was 2 years ago, so he's 22. Dude,
That's what I'm talking
he
about.
didn't know nothing.
He's just a baby. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied. Oh,
What's going on at the prosecutor's office? They might have sent an innocent man to his death.
How could he just stand there like it wasn't his fault?
order! 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 Order!
Slam, 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 slam.
The gavel's pounding.
That's me. The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. This is my journal entry.
Sorry.
Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows. Oh my god, everyone! Well, I was hoping we would get through more than one of these. But, I don't know. How do you feel? If we do another, I need a break. What'd you think? What'd you think? What'd you think? I almost feel like
I kind of feel like
if we're not doing a double episode today, then we need to do a double episode next time.
What do you mean?
Like, because it's 3 episodes and we just did 1 episode of, like, the chapters of Ace Attorney, right? So we just did 1. We have 2 more. I want to get this done by next week.
I think...
And I think we can.
Yes.
So it's either we do another extra chapter today or we do 2 chapters next Monday.
Let's do 2 next Monday. I'm feeling a little antsy.
You're feeling a little antsy. We've got some Fields of Mysteria to play.
Oh my god.
And
so excited.
So this is not going to interfere with Saturday. Saturday we are going to play Cult of the Lamb together, all of us, but Oliver and I are going to practice it a little bit. Have our own Cult of the Lamb run co-op.
Just test out how the features are. See if it would be fun.
Yeah. We'll definitely do it, but we're just to kind of make sure that we can be fun when we do it. But
yeah, next week for this, we're going to complete Rise from the Ashes.
Oh, hell yeah.
It is going to be so over. Like, I promise we're finishing it.
Oh, yeah. It's over.
Next week. And on Sunday, we're playing Cult of the Lamb, though. We're doing it on Sunday instead of Saturday.
Sunday. That's right.
Uh-oh.
What? Sorry. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry.
I don't know why you're there right now. Okay, so we're gonna say goodbye, but we'll see you on Wednesday for more Pokemon, in which we're finally battling the Kahuna of Ula Ula. I think we stopped.
We're doing so many, like, this time we're really doing it.
This time for real. We're really for real doing it for real.
This coming, not this week, so
Wednesday.
We're
Pokemon.
we're gonna do the Kahuna, and then next Monday we're gonna finish this game of Ace Attorney.
Yes.
We're gonna finish the first game.
Yes.
And on Sunday, Cult of the Lamb.
Yes. Oh, hi Dova. Thanks for stopping in.
Oh, sorry to say goodbye at the moment of you coming in.
I love I'm excited about the Kahuna battle.
Sun and Moon has been super fun. Sun.
I'm really excited about
Moon.
I'm really excited about our Pokemon game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So hope you join us then.
Have a good night.
Yeah, and
have a good evening.
And we'll see you on the flip side.
See you on the flip. See you on the internet. Bye.
Bye.